Welcome to the Rusted Garden. Today is March 2nd and peas can start going out into the garden. Peas do not like soggy wet soil, so with the snow coming down and the temperature's not quite where they need to be, you don't want to start your peas outdoors in the dirt or in containers. They're just going to rot away in the soil. But you can start them indoors without grow lights. I'm going to show you how to do that and how to get your peas growing. We're going to use the peat pots because peas like to be transferred without really disturbing their roots. You can do it the other way, but this is the easiest way to set it up. I'm going to show you how to set up 50 peas, how to get them seed started indoors without grow lights. Now, peas don't mind the cold. The biggest issue, as I was saying, is they don't like soggy soil. So 40-degree nights are perfectly fine for peas as long as the soil is draining. If not, the pea is going to just rot in the soil. So we can start them indoors. I've done them under grow lights, but I want to show you how you can do it without grow lights. And it's basically going to be bringing them inside at night and taking them outside during the day. But the beauty of that is you don't then have to acclimate your peas to the outdoors, because if you start them solely indoors without the sun, without the wind, you have to kind of acclimate them from the inside to the outside over 7 days, or the sun will damage them. Peas are really straightforward. I like to use the peat pots. If you use the plastic cells, the roots will, let's use these tomatoes. The roots are going to grow really quickly and they're going to come out the bottom here. And when you try and pull the pea out, you're going to damage the roots. So use the peat pots. I don't like peat pots typically, but for peas. That was a lot of P words. All right. So you're just going to take the peat pot. This is 10 in this area, in this section. This is about the size you want. It's not as small as you think. The peas are going to actually, when they germinate, you're going to see the roots first before the tops come out. I'll talk about that in a second. This is enough space because we're not going to disturb the roots. We're just going to tear this off and we're going to plant this wherever we want it to go. So the peat pots work really well. You're just going to loosely fill it. Usually I talk about thumb packing it down. Just loosely fill your soil, just like that. And then what you do is we're going to just drop the peas in here. And if you don't know, there's a couple kinds of peas. There are the snow peas. Let me make sure I got the right ones. Snow peas are the flat peas, just like you find in Chinese food. And they don't grow large peas, or many of them anyway. You have to leave them on the vine long and they'll grow a couple large peas. This is how you get the seeds, but they're typically grown for the flat pods and not the peas, and you just pick them when the pods are to size. We're going to just drop them right onto the top here. These are the sugar snap. Sugar snap peas get plump with the full array of peas inside, but you can eat the peas and the shell, and that's what I like. We're going to do both. And it's just one seed per tray, or per cell. You could put 2 in there if you want. 2 peas will grow perfectly fine next to each other, but I'm going to be starting a lot this year, so I just don't really need to double up. I'm going to be doing a lot this way by moving them in and out of the house. Once they're on there, because we didn't really pack the soil down, you're just going to press them right down almost to the bottom, right in the middle. And again, these are going to probably root out first. And that's important because we want to catch these peas when they're about to pop. So what we're going to do is plant these now. We're going to bottom water them in. We're going to let them sit in the house for 3 days, and then after 3 days you're going to check the bottoms. You're going to be looking for a sprout to come up, and as soon as you see the roots coming out the bottom or one of the peas break the surface, that's when we're going to start transitioning them in and out doors. They can't be outside if it's going to be freezing. It's perfectly fine if it's 33 degrees. Take these out with you, put them in a sunny location when you go to work, and when you're coming back in, take them in before the evening. Of course, if it's going to be freezing that day, during the day, you don't want to do this. Just drop the starting mix on top. Because these are going to be going in and out, and we're going to be using the dome on here, you don't have to really sterilize this for fungus gnats. You can. Peas grow so quickly and have such strong root systems, the fungus gnats aren't going to hurt these. And we're going to have a dome on here. The dome is going to go on top. This way, as we're transitioning in and out, we don't have to worry about any kind of insects being brought in and out of the house. And the dome will kind of collect the sun and the heat inside, so to speak, and keep these warmer. So once that's done, we're going to bottom water. Let me set that up and I'll talk a little bit more about the transition. Make sure you label them, just even out the soil, and again, we're not worried about fungus gnats or problems in here. If you're using peat pots and you're moving these in and out, you may see mold or algae grow on these. That's okay. That happens. All mold, algae, funguses aren't always a problem. You're going to put in enough water to maybe fill a quarter of the tray. Let that sit in there about a half an hour. Everything should absorb it. You want to see the light peat turn a dark color. That means it's absorbed enough water, and that's all you're really going to have to do. And again, we're going to grow these indoors, and basically what we're doing, we're giving them nice warm nighttime temperatures, which are perfect for the roots, and then we're taking them outside for the sunlight so that they grow, hit the sun. They won't become leggy. If you try and grow these at a windowsill, or if you don't have grow lights and you're growing peas, they're going to sprout and they're going to grow really fast, but they're going to be tall, weak, and leggy. By doing this process, by taking them outside, the sun takes care of them, and then indoors takes care of them at night. We're going to put on the plastic. Now, you don't want to just take this out like that, because when the wind blows, it's going to blow the top off. And that's okay if it's not freezing, but if you're around 33, 34 degrees, this is going to give a lot of warmth in there, because when the sun comes in, it's going to warm up the inside. Your peas are going to do much better. So we're going to use rubber bands. A single rubber band isn't always big enough, so if you take a couple rubber bands and just put them together like that, and then you got to tie off the ends of the other one, you make one big rubber band. Oh, that just broke, but that's right, you got two. That's plenty to secure your dome. The wind won't blow it off, and you're just going to transition this outdoors during the day when it's above 33 degrees, 32 degrees, bring it in at night. I'm going to let these grow so I can show you what it looks like at 3 days, 5 days, and maybe 7 days. So this is just 5 days later. Today is March 7th, and you can see this morning the peas are just starting to pop up here and there. But what I was saying before is your peas are going to send out roots first, and that's when you know they're just about ready to pop. So if you're starting these indoors, if you want them to germinate inside because they need the warmth, you can check the bottoms. In 3, 4, 5 days you'll see the root system coming out. And now we can start transitioning this outside during the day. As long as it's over 32 degrees, the peas will do really well. And we've kind of used the indoors to get them germinated, and now we're using the outdoors to get them growing, bringing them in at night, and these peas will do really well. You're not going to need grow lights. Today is March 9th, so it's been 7 days since the seeds were put in the starting mix. I took the rubber band off. Make sure you keep a rubber band on here because it will blow off. So these can come outside when the days are above freezing, especially for the cool weather crops. Going to be doing a whole series on seed starting without grow lights if you want to subscribe. But 7 days later, not 7 days from germination, 7 days from dropping the seed, you can see the strength of the pea roots. They're really large. In about 7 days, these are going to go out in containers. But because we've been bringing them outside, they're used to the cold, they're used to the sun, and they will transplant easily into containers. Let me take this back inside, talk a little bit more about seed starting without grow lights, and then I will finish up this video and I'll talk about some of the other plants that I'm going to be doing using this method. So this method obviously works for peas. They're cool weather crops. The other video I'm going to be doing will be showing how to start all of these. There's got cabbages and kales in there, leeks, spinach back in the corner. I'll be doing a video on the same process. And I wanted to come up with something that didn't exclude people that didn't want to start the grow light stations, didn't have the time to do it, maybe couldn't afford it, didn't have the room. You can seed start many of your plants by just moving them in and outdoors. Simple, you know, but it's kind of like if you don't know, you don't know, but once you know, you're like, hey, that's a really sensible idea. So this will be a series on starting cool weather crops. I'm going to show you how to do peas, show you how to do tomatoes, peppers, some of your warm season crops. This way you can save money, get a jump on the season, and you don't need to have grow lights. Hope you enjoyed the video. Please check out my seed shop at www.therustedgarden.com. And remember, just a quick recap, drop the peas in. When you see the root break the surface, break the bottom, well, I guess it's the inverted surface, break the bottom of the peat pot, that's when you know the tips are going to start popping, and you can start moving these outdoors during the day and indoors at night. If the nighttime temperatures stay in the 40s, these can stay outside. If the daytime temperatures get up into the 50s, you want to remove the plastic. You don't want to overheat the plants in here, and sometimes having plastic on here on a full sunny day in the 50s will do that. But again, bring them in at night, put them out during the day, and you'll be able to start your peas without grow lights. Thanks for watching.